The intelligent framer designer will use styleguide to enhance their work so that they can work fast and efficient. First, let me explain about what is styleguide. Styleguide is like a blueprint for the design, making sure everything fits so nicely. It acts as a rulebook detailing specifications such as typeface, typography, colors, buttons, link, and much more. It's about ensuring that every aspect of the design project aligns with the established brand identity. Now let's understand how the style guide will reduce the workload while working in Framer. Number 1, consistency. Number 2, efficiency. Number 3, quality assurance. So always make sure to work on the style guide first before starting the website. And now I'm going to break down the process of the style guide before starting the website. Let's get into the video. I have created the basic setup needed for the style guide. The style guide should be as like the website design. So for that, I have created the hero header section for the style guide. Next, we need to ensure what is the typeface we are going to use. So coming to the typeface, I need to ensure what are the fonts I am going to use. So for that, let me add a text. For instance, let be in a white color. For the typeface, I am going to use a lexicon for the titles and inter for the paragraphs. So lexicon. So on writing the lexicon, let me choose the font as lexicon and let me duplicate this, and for this I'm going to use the font as inter. Now let me rename this as inter. Now I'm going to use regular and bold for the weight of these two fonts, and coming to the lexicon I'm going to use the bold weight, and coming to the inter I'm going to use the regular weight. So let me choose this lexicon first. Let me duplicate this. The weight should be bold. Let me change the content to bold, and coming to the inter, let me duplicate this, and for this inter I'm going to choose the weight as regular. So let it be like this. Now make the alignment of this. So I'm choosing this lexicon and bold. Let me create a stack over it and make the direction to vertical and make the height to fit content. The same follow up for this inter. Let me change this to regular. Now let me go to this lexicon and make the weight to bold. So after choosing the colors and the typography, we can change the size of this. So for instance, we have selected the font and weight of it. And the next one is colors. In this colors, I'm going to use both the primary and secondary colors. I have made the layout as a grid. Inside it, I'm going to add the colors. So inside this grid, let me add a frame. Inside this grid, let's make the height to 200 as of now. Let me take out this color. Here I'm going to add a color palette along with the name of it with the hexadecimal code. So let me select this text, that is lexicon, and let me add it inside this. Make the layout to stack and bring it at the top. Let me change the name as primary white, and here I'm going to add a hexadecimal code. So I have already said after making all this typography, we will change the style of this. So as of now, let it be like this. Next, we need to add the color. So for that, I'm choosing a frame. Let the width be fill, height be fill. So for this, we are going to use this hexadecimal code, and I'm going to this frame, and in the fill, let me make this color. In order to store this color style, I'm going under the styles. Let me create this. And we need to give the name of this. So I'm choosing this and going here, and let me paste. That is primary white. So the primary white color has been created. Now we can go to this text, and in the color we can able to give this color. The same for this color, primary white. So that we have made the first color, let me change this name to item wrap. Now let me duplicate this. And for the second primary color, I am going to choose the blue. So let me change it as blue. And for the decimal code, let me give the decimal code. In order to change this color, I am choosing this color and going to this frame. And for the fill, I am creating a new style with the decimal code of the copied one. Let me give the name as primary blue. So that the primary blue has been created now. Now let's create another wrap. Let me change this as black. And for the hexadecimal code, let me give the code. Let me copy this. I'm going to the color. Let me create a primary black. Let me change the color so that we can say it is the same color of this. So in order to know the differentiation of this, let me give the background color. So again, I'm going to the fill. Let me create a new style, that is as primary BG black. Let me give the color code to 141414. So that color has been created. Let me give the padding to 10. So the same follow-ups for other item wraps. Let me give the padding to 10 with a BG color of black. So that we have created the primary white, primary blue and primary black. And again, I'm duplicating this item wrap. Let me change this primary green. And for the code, this is the code for this green. I'm choosing this color and I'm going to the fill. Let me create a new style, that is for the primary green. Let me give the value of it. So the primary green has been created. Next, we need to add the secondary color. So I'm duplicating another one. This is for the secondary colors. So I'm changing it as secondary. And another color is orange. So this is the code for this orange. I'm choosing this color and I'm going to the style. Let me create a new style. Let me give it as secondary orange. And for the color, this one. So the orange color has been created. If you want to learn more about the Framer within 1 hour, you can check out my video in my channel. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We have created the color palette which is necessary for our style guide. Next is the typography. So coming to the text, we need to add the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6 for the headings. So let me show you how to create that one. So coming to the text, let me choose this lexicon and I'm pasting inside it. Now we are going to create a text styles for this. So I have chosen this text and I'm going to the styles. I'm selecting it. Now we are going to create a new style for the heading 1. And let me rename it as display text. Now I'm editing. Let the font be lexicon, weight be bold. And coming to the size, I'm going to give the size as 70. So all the text styles that you are going to create will be stored here, so that it will be very easy to use it again and again. Even we can able to add the breakpoint, so I'm choosing breakpoints. For the large breakpoint, let the size be 70. For the medium breakpoint, let the size be 65. And for the small one, let it be 55. So that we have created the display text. Now we need to rename it as display text H1. So that we have created the display text. Next, let me duplicate this again. This is for heading 1. Let me rename it as heading 1. So I'm choosing this one. I'm going to the style. Let me create a new style that is for heading 1. I'm editing this and let the font be Lexin, weight be bold, and for the size, let me give the size to 60. Even we can add the breakpoint. For the large 60, for the medium 55, for the small 45. The same process will be applied for the remaining. Again, I'm duplicating. Let the heading be H2. I'm going to the styles. I'm creating a new style that is for the heading 2. I'm editing it. Let the font be Lexin, weight be bold, and for the size, let it be 40. Add the breakpoint. For the large 40, for the medium 35, 30. Again, duplicate this. Let the heading be H3. I'm going to styles, new styles, that is for the heading 3. Edit this. The font be Lexin, weight be bold, and size will be 30. Add the breakpoints and again duplicate it. Now this is for H4. Go to the style, create a new style that is for heading 4. Edit. Font is Lexin, weight is bold, and width will be 25. Add the breakpoints. Next is heading 5. Let me create the heading 5. Go to the new style, heading 5. Go to the edit. Give the size to 20. Add the breakpoints. Next is heading 6. Now go to the styles, create a new style that is heading 6. Go to the edit, give the size to 18. Add the breakpoints. So that we have created the text styles which is necessary for all the text. Next, we need to add the paragraph for the large and small. And even if you need a much larger, we can add the extra large, and for the much smaller, we can add the extra small. Now inside this large, I'm adding one of the paragraph. So for this paragraph, let me select this para and let me go to the styles. Let me create a new style for the paragraph. Let me rename it as paragraph large. And let me edit this. The font will be inter, weight will be regular, and coming to the size will be 18. If we need the breakpoints, we can add the breakpoint here. Now we have added the paragraph large. If we need the extra large paragraph, I'm again duplicating this. Let me rename it as X large. Now I'm choosing this paragraph and I'm going to the styles. I'm adding a new style for the paragraph. Let me rename it as paragraph extra large. Let me edit this. Font will be inter, weight will be regular, and the color will be primary white. The same follow up for this large one. I'm going here. Let me edit. Let me give the color to primary white. Now I'm choosing this extra large. Edit. Let me give the size to 20. So that we have created the extra large paragraph, and let me add a small paragraph. So I'm choosing this paragraph. Let me paste inside it. So I have chosen this. I'm going to the styles. Let me create a new style for the paragraph. Let me rename it as paragraph small. Let me edit. The font will be inter, weight will be regular. The color will be primary white. And for the size will be 16 at the breakpoint. So we have added a small paragraph, and if we need the extra small paragraph, we can add. Let me rename it as extra small. And now again I'm choosing this paragraph and I'm going to the style, and even we can do another option. Let me duplicate it and let me rename it as extra small, and let me edit. Let me give the size to 14. So for the paragraph we have added the extra large, large, small and extra small. Now I'm going to the top, that is the hero header. Let me choose this style guide. Let me add this style to display text. Let me align it to the center, and for the color primary blue. And for the paragraph I'm choosing the styles to paragraph large. Let me align to be at the center. The same follow up for the typeface. We have given the H1 here, and based on the hierarchy we need to give it as H2. So H2, and the color will be blue, and same for other topics. H2, the color will be blue. And I'm going here, H2 blue. For this, let me change it as heading 2, the color to blue. For this, let me change it as H2 color to blue. And for the subheading I'm going to give this H3, the color will be green. The same for this paragraph, H3 color will be green. Apply this to all the headings. Now I'm going back to this typeface. Here we have given the Lexan bold. Let me make the width to fit. The same for this fit. Let me make the alignment to be at the left, and for this left. And for this too I'm going to give it as H3, H4. And for this paragraph extra large, large. So that we have made the typeface, colors in the typography text paragraph. Next we need to add the list type. We need to add the unordered list and an ordered list. If you want to create the website with a free template, you can check out my videos in my channel. And for the unordered list, so based on the color we have chosen, we can change the color. That is the primary green. And coming to this, I have used the pause bar icon. Let me change it as primary black. If you want to use some other icon, you can check it out from here. Now let me add the text here. And for the style, I'm going to use paragraph large. Let me use the text for other unordered list. So that we have created the unordered list. This is the ordered list. And again, I'm going to use the text of it the same as we have done in the unordered list. We can't create the ordered list simultaneously. We need to manually give the numbers as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that we have completed the list type also. Now we need to create the buttons. So in order to create the button, I'm using frame. Let me name it as button. Let me give the radius to 20. As of now, let me give the width and also the height. Let it be 50. Inside this, we need to add the text. So inside, in order to add the text, let me choose one of the short text. I'm copying this and I'm going inside this button. Let me paste. And for the button, let me give the layout to stack. Now I'm choosing this title. Let me give it as paragraph large. Let it be primary button. We need to create the primary button and also a secondary button along with the hover effect. So we need to create the component of this. So let me create the component that is for the button. So the variant has been created. Let me rename it as primary. And for the color, let me change it as primary green. And inside the text, let me give the color to primary black. So that we have created the button. Now we need to add the hover effect. So for that, I'm going to the hover. Let me select it as hover. And I have planned to create the border. So let me go inside this border. Let me give the color to primary green with the width to 2. Let me take out this color. And for this text, let me give the color to primary white. Let me check this out. Yeah, it's working perfect. So that we have created the primary button along with the hover. Now coming to the primary, and for the padding, let me give it as 15, and for the height, fit content. So that we have created the primary. In order to create the secondary, I'm creating another variant. Let me rename it as secondary. Now for this, let me give the padding value to 10. And for the text, let me give it as paragraph small. Even we can adjust the width. I think it will be fine. And let me create a hover effect. And for the secondary, I'm going to change this color. Let it be primary blue. It will be fine. And in order to create the hover, let me choose hover. And again for this, I'm going to add a border. Let the border be primary blue with B2. Let me take out this fill color. And for the text, let me give the color to primary white. So let me check. Yeah, it's working great. Now I'm going to the home. Now let me add another button by duplicating it. And in order to change it as secondary, I'm going to the variant. Let me choose it as secondary and make the width to fit and height to fit. The same follow-ups here. Fit, height to fit. So that we have created the buttons. Next is links. So for that, again I'm choosing one of the small text. Going inside this link, let me paste. And for the text, I'm choosing paragraph small. I think it will be great. Again I'm choosing, let it be link type 1. So in order to create the link effect, I'm going to this link. So as of now, let me choose the page to home. And going to the style, let me rename it as link type 1. And let me edit this. Let me give the default color to primary white with a none decoration. And for the hover effect, let me give it as primary green with a decoration none. And for the current, again I'm giving it as primary green. So that we have created the type 1. And for the link type 2, let me rename it as link type 2. Again I'm going to the link, for instance, on for the link type 2, let me create a new style and rename it as link type 2. Now let me edit this. And for the default, let it be primary white. The hover will be primary green with the decoration none, and also the current will be none with the decoration none. So this is the link type 2. We can create as much of link that we needed. So that we have created the two types of link. Next is icon. The type of icon we are going to use inside this website can be defined here. So as of now, I'm going to create a frame with the width to 80 and 80, and let me give the radius to 100, and for the color let it be secondary blue, and this is the icon. Let me make the layer to stack. Inside this I am going to add the icon. So for that I am going to use the prosper icon. So for that I am choosing I. Let me create the prosper icon. Inside it, let the width will be 50 and 50. And coming to this prosper component, let me choose the color to primary black, and let me choose the option that I need. So that one of the icon has been created. We are going to create same type of icon again and again. For that it's better to create the component. So for that I'm creating a component with the name icon. Let it be primary. We will be changing this icon and also the background color. So I am going to choose this fill. Let me create the variable for the color. That is the background. And for the prosper icon, we are not going to change the color, we are going to change the name. So I am going to create the variable for this as a name. So that we have created the component, I am going back to the home. Let me duplicate it as much of needed. So for the second icon, let me give the color to primary green, and for the name shad. The same follows for others. So that we have created the icon also. So this is the basic style guide which is necessary for every website. We need to specify what is the typeface we are going to use for the website, the colors we are going to use, the typography we are going to follow here, the paragraphs, that is with the extra large, large, small, extra small, and the list type with the unordered list and an ordered list, a button types. Even we can add much more buttons that is required for the website. Even I have specified the links beforehand, even and the icons also. All the style which we have created so far can be seen inside this assets. So coming to the text, we can see H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6 and all the paragraphs and all the links we have created and all the colors we have created. So it will be easy to start up the website from home page. And also the components which we have created can be found inside this component section. So I always recommend to create the style guide beforehand. So it will be very easy to start up the website. Actually, we have created all the necessary elements that is required for the website along with the colors, text and the buttons and also the links. So if you start up with this style guide, it will be much easier for you to create the website. If you enjoyed this video and found value, don't forget to hit the bell button and share it with your fellow designers. Subscribe for more content on Framer, web design and development.